Welcome back to the AfterBuzz show dedicated to the Netflix animated show, Enchantment! We are reviewing part 2, shows 9 and 10. Yeah, baby. It's called The Electric Princess and Tiabeanie Falls. All that and so much more. We'll be right back.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, party people? My name is Kitty Kaboom. I'm your host for all things Enchanted, and this sitch is about to be lit, because the season has ended, people. This is it. You like that? I love it. I wrote that. I did that for you, okay? You're welcome. Yeah, I know. It's the little things. They matter. They matter. I'm pretty excited about this because it's the first time that we've seen Bean or anybody from Dreamland leave town, right? Who knew? Like, other places existed besides, like, Elf Alley. Well, Elf Alley is now inside Dreamland, but Elf Town, I guess it was called prior to. You know what I'm trying to say. It's very rare that they leave Dreamland. So I was super excited to see that they not only went somewhere, but how cool was it? It was like Futurama meets 1940s, right? With the cars, but they weren't really. Everything was floating. So it was like 2000, whatever dreamers make up the future to be, like the year 3000, but like not, you know what I mean? They had all kinds of elements that said it could be 2020 right now, but probably not, because there's some other stuff going on. I love, love, love that they have horses that are ridden on wheels and just all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, but I'm getting ahead of myself, which is what I normally do. I apologize. I digress. Let's get into it. Elf Alley was under attack. Elf Alley is under attack, people. I mean, that does happen quite a bit, so it's not that big of a surprise. But the surprise came to find out who was attacking them. And it turns out it's a dragon. What is it? No, it's not no damn dragon. But of course, everybody in Dreamland assumed it was, because they don't know no better. So Bean, being the bad broad that she is, badass, she pulls out her bow and arrow, shoots it down, it lands, it crashes, it burns. She runs on her horse to find out what the hell is going on, because, again, she's a badass. And who comes out of the freaking dragon, the flying dragon? But a man, a mere mortal. She goes over, she talks to him, she finds out this guy's name is Sky Gunderberg or Gunderbug or something like that. And he is like, listen, lady, relax, okay? It's called science. She's like, I believe it's pronounced science. Okay, Bean, if you say so. But is it, though? Like, is this science? Is it magic? What's happening here? I don't understand. Elf Alley is under attack. We don't know if it's science. We don't know if it's magic. And Bean travels to a far, far away land. I love that we visit all of these in one episode. So he falls, she finds him. You already know the Calgary comes in like they did something, and they take him away. And then, of course, the questioning begins. So it turns out, of course, Bean is fascinated, right? Anything that has anything to do with something that has nothing to do with Dreamland. She just doesn't want to be there. Her life, her existence, are you kidding me? It's like, to her, a 14-year-old that drinks beer and gets wasted like every night. She's about 14, right? No, because she makes out with guys. But she said something about being 14, so that's why I thought that. So let's just assume she's older, because otherwise it might be a little creepy. 14-year-olds kissing boys and drinking beer. So we'll give her 16, okay? We're being generous. What are you going to do? I'm amazed at how much she really wants to know from this guy, because she's so interested in anything, you know, outside of her everyday mundane. And he takes her under his wing. He's like, listen, let me explain. And this is how he talks, because his name is Sky. He pulls her aside. He's like, listen, this is science. This is what's happening. You know, you got to get me out of here. Of course, he enlists her help because she's Tiabeanie. And she gladly gives it to him. She ends up in his jail cell. She has the whole roost thing going on, right? I love that she covers everything up, and she makes up these ridiculous lies for him so he can escape. But it's not like it's that big of a deal, because everyone that lives in her town that's in a role of authority is an idiot. So you can tell them pretty much anything, and they're just like, oh, yeah, I see that. It makes no, never mind. And then they got some element of their lives now that they didn't know about before, and they really don't even believe that it's happening. You know what I mean? That's where the whole science versus magic comes in. They know about magic, and they really don't know too much about that. But they definitely don't know about science. So this whole science thing has got them all like, what's happening? So the more they're trying to hold this guy Sky down, the more Bean is willing to help him. Fast forward to Bean, of course, escaping. Like, I'm not staying here. This guy just ran off, you know what I mean? And he said, meet me at this place. We're going to rendezvous together. We're going to go and do some things. And, of course, then he tried to leave Bean. He was like, you got me all the way effed up. I'm going with you, brother. I didn't help you escape for nothing. So he pulls out off in a submarine, which, ironically enough, Bean does get right and says, what do you guys call this? A submarine? Wasn't that a great line? I love it. He's like, no, it's called a, damn, I don't even remember what he said, but something ridiculous, like an underwater patty puddle, something. And so on the adventure, of course, she's being exposed to all kinds of things that she would not normally see. She's under the water, she's seeing the animals, obviously the sea creatures, and they get on their venture, their journey. They end up in this land, which is obviously nothing like Dreamland. And she's just like, what? What's happening? He takes her upstairs. He's like, listen, pop a squat. I'll be back. I got work to do. Don't leave this room, whatever you do, under any circumstances. So, of course, she's intrigued to leave the room. But the best part is how she walks around and is like, everything in here is so cool. He actually has a lamp. He actually has window treatments. Well, I guess you call them that. They're made of steel, so that might be questionable, calling them treatments. But I do like the fact that this guy is providing some new worlds into Bean's very closed world. He's exposing her to some things. And where did this guy come from? What is this place? It's so crazy. I absolutely love it. So they get there. They're doing their thing. She escapes the room. You know, that's a given. And then she finds him, like, she hitches a ride. She gets a free beer. It wasn't supposed to be free, but Bean doesn't know, and what does she care? And she's obviously, like, in love, because everywhere she looks is something that she's never seen before, right? So as a teenager, like, why wouldn't this be blowing your mind? Clearly, this is in another dimension, another time period. I'm still not sure if it's, like, the future meets the past, or, like, an amalgamation of the future with a little past in there. I just love the fact that Matt Groening puts it together, right? Like, he's so good at being able to seamlessly piece together his shows or his ideas about his shows and give us all of this funny stuff and all these one-liners and have everything be multi-layered as it would be in a normal show. But because it's animation, he can do so much more and push the envelope so much more. I love it. It's so ridiculous. So everywhere Bean turns is ridiculousness. And of course, she accepts it like, okay, I guess. So the lady pulls up. She gives Bean a ride. She's like, jump on my horse/car thing, right? Because she got to go get it repaired. She asks the woman, Bean, that is, you know, I need to go to, of course, now I can't remember. Oh, the Transpo District. She's like, take me to the Transpo District. That's where I need to be. The lady drops her off. Isn't that great? When Bean gets off the horse/car thing, the lady's like, well, you need to talk to me. You have my number. Bean's like, I don't know what that means, but okay, bye. I do love that because there's some things that she does recognize as being her truth and like being aware of. And even if she doesn't know, it's like she kind of sort of catches on. But then there are other things that are so foreign to her. And we know as, you know, viewers that they're foreign, that when they say stuff like, I don't know what that means, it's like, oh, okay. So she's not on that page, but she is on that page. It's crazy talk. And I love it. So she gets to the transport district, right? She finds homeboy. She's like, what the hell is going on? Why would you leave me in that room? Why are we here? He's like, yo, chill, honey. I got this. Mommy, have a seat. Once again, sit tight. I'll be back. And what does she overhear? Of course, some dastardly plans. Sky, who turns out to just be like a regular worker in the town and not some big shot that everybody obviously thought he was a wizard. And they thought that his flying ship was a dragon that Bean shot up out the sky. So, of course, she's like, where's the dragon? How do we get back on the dragon? I need to get back to Dreamland at some point. He's like, ugh, it's not a freaking dragon. Okay, I think I explained that to you, but whatevs. So while he's talking to the lady, Bean overhears that there's a dastardly plan. He was supposed to be on a mission. This cat effed it up. He's supposed to go to the town, undetected, drop some bombs, kill her daddy, of course. Gotta kill King Zog, because, I mean, what else is there to do in these towns if not kill off the heads of these people and rulers and such so they can be replaced with their own maniacal ideas about what they think the world should be. And once she hears this, of course, that's her daddy. So she's like, no, this won't happen. I can't allow this, yada, yada. He gets in a fight with his supervisor lady, the dastardly woman that's planning this coup, And then Bean's like, okay, this is my chance to just peel out. So she rolls out. She tries her best to get back to Dreamland. She jumps in another one of these flying shipper-rooney things. We know them now to be airplanes, just so we're on the same page, right? Gets in the airplane and tries to run off. And of course, inevitably, right? The guy Sky's holding onto the side. He's like, oh, you can't leave me. Let me in. You have to have my help in order to know what's going on. Bean's like, I got this. I paid attention the first time. So no, I don't. They get in a struggle. Things happen. Da-da-da, da-da-dee, da-da-ba, da-ba-da-boom. Obviously, he dies. That's all Bean does is kill off the bad guys at like 14, 15, 16, whatever she is. But a lot of people die around Bean. Let's be clear about that, right? Well, this guy has to go. So goes flying through the air. She's able to manifest the ride. She gets it back to Dreamland. She sets the little timer deal. They get her to Dreamland. She gets there, and inevitably, they think once again that she's in some crazy dragon. Blows it up. It's like, what the hell is happening? And Bean rises to the occasion. So cool. She runs top speed to tell her dad what the hell is going on. They're plotting, Daddy. They gonna get you. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take heed. And the dad's like, what are you talking? It's science of, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. You know, Zog. He don't want to hear about what's happening next door, let alone in a whole different universe, situation. That ain't got nothing to do with me, as far as he's concerned, right? So she gets into this back and forth, because she has the gun. I'm so sorry. He did have a gun. Remember that? And they thought it was a dragon whistle. So they're blowing in it, they being the almighty know-it-alls, the king's right-hand man, the king's wizard, everybody they putting their 2 cents in. Clearly it's a this and it's a that, and it's a dragon whistle. No, it's actually a gun, but okay. She doesn't know it's a gun either. She doesn't even know what it's called, but she knows that it's a bad thing because it was shot at her and a hole went through the door right beside her. She was like, I don't think that's a good thing. She's able to wrestle it, as I said, get back to the kingdom, explain this to her dad. They're wrestling, she and the right-hand man. She's like, give me that damn whistle. I'm running stuff. You don't get to determine anything. And she's like, whatever. Like, I created this whole sitch. You know what I mean? I'm the one that got this gun that I don't know is a gun. So back up. They get in a struggle. The gun goes off. And what do you think? It hits Zog in the belly. It's terrible. My heart goes out to him. Because I'm just like, how are they going to save him if they don't even know what's wrong with them? If they don't know about bullets and guns, how's he going to live through this, right? And then I remembered, it's a cartoon. So he's probably going to live. So I was pretty excited about that. And that was the end of part 2, episode 9. Moving right along into episode 10, because the good news is, which doesn't happen very often in this series, one follows the other, right? Like it literally just kept going. I was like, nice, transitions. This is good. I can follow a storyline here. I got this. So, in the season finale, obviously, we open with Zog, he's in the bed, and he's dying right before our very eyes. And, of course, the wizard, his hilarious self, is just like, oh, I know how we can get this, get him okay and make him heal quicker. Freshly washed rats. Sick 'em on them. We got this. And obviously that was not the way. But they've been trying everything to make sure that Zog lives. And at this point, they're just like, you tried to kill your dad. She's like, yeah, I was there, and so were you. And I didn't try to kill my dad. It was an accident. Come on, I didn't even know what the thing did, sort of. So why would you blame me for this? But inevitably, Zog's right-hand man is always trying to overturn the kingdom anyway. He's met with the big-eyed broad with the purple situation going on, and they've decided, yes, we can do this. You know what? Pull out the paperwork, because I think that it states in the paperwork somewhere down the line that if Zog dies, then this person in charge, then this, then that, then this. Ooh. So they done put 2 and 2, you already know, connected all type of crazy dots and determined that Derek, his idiot son, is going to be the next ruler to rule Dreamland if, in fact, Zog dies. So they really don't even, act like Zog is dying. Everything is spoken in past tense when they talk about him. It's almost like they've accepted that he's gone. Obviously, Bean doesn't feel this way, but she don't really have a choice in much of anything because they are looking to kill her. They're like, no, you definitely was trying to kill your dad. They locked her up in her room initially. Of course, they took her out of there, and then she gets sent down to the dungeon. It's horrible. Bean is like, why are you doing this? But not before they have a trial, which is a joke, because they already know what her fate is going to be, because they've already decided before they sat down and, had the whole back and forth. They called witnesses. They had Elfo. They had Luci speak. Oh, and Luci was supposed to be her attorney. Wasn't he the best, yo, with that stupid little white curly thingamabobby wig? Oh, I loved it. And, of course, he sent her straight up the river. That's still a thing, right? Straight up the river. Doesn't that mean you're going to die? I think it does. We'll go with it. Straight up the river, and she's just looking at her death. She's like, dude, you're killing me over here. But inevitably, they're like, you know what? Matter of fact, not just you. Your little friend Luci and that sicko-looking thing Elfo. All of y'all, to the dungeon with ya. We're gonna kill you all. So unfortunately, they go to the dungeon, and everybody's just like, what's gonna happen with the king? And Derek is sitting on the throne like he's about to make some decisions in his pea-head brain. But I will say, to Derek's credit, which kind of surprised me, but knowing Matt Groening and the genius that he is, it makes sense. He goes to visit his dad in the middle of the night, and he's like, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing here. They're trying to make me the king. Like, what's justice mean? And what are these terms I'm not familiar with? And his dad gives him some pretty good advice. So I was pleasantly surprised that even on his deathbed, Zog was able to say, listen, if you're about to take over the reins, understand that this is what you're going to be dealing with. And as it relates to your sister, do the right thing. You know damn well your sister ain't trying to kill me. I mean, he didn't say that, but it was kind of implied. That's what I got from it. We're going to go with it. So Derek leaves there, of course. He goes back to his room. He plots it over. Would my sister kill my dad? I don't think so. She did try to save me that one time, but then she did beat me up that other time. Come on, you know what to do, Derek. We got you, bruh. So while he's deliberating, of course, there's all kinds of madness going on in Bean's head with her two homies. Like, what are we going to do? We cannot be killed, right? Well, sorry, boo, but they put her at the stake anyway. So the three of them are standing there talking about how they've been through so many adventures together, and they're living each other's dreams, and they're trying to make the best of obviously a horrible situation. The king is none the wiser. He's standing on the balcony talking about, oh, fire, beautiful. Bruh, they're trying to kill your daughter. But he has no knowledge, obviously. And so it's about to go up in flames. Everything is like coming apart at the seams, and looks like Bean is going to die. Looks like Lucy's going to join her. Looks like Elfo's right there as well. And then inevitably, right? Because it's a cartoon, not the ceiling, what's the other part? When the floor. The opposite of the ceiling falls through. The floor falls through. The three of them end up in a dungeon. It's perfect. And the executioner, who's such a fun guy, he just shows up every once in a while and puts his little 2 cents in, and then he disappears. Great character. So he comes over. He's like, you guys all right? Yeah, I let you down there. I did that for you. This is the way to go to get away. I'm telling you, it's the best. Godspeed. Blah, 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 blah. And Bean's like, oh, that's what's up. Why you help us? Never mind. It's cool. I appreciate you. So they're like trying to get away. Then at the last minute, Bean's like, I can't do it. It's my dad, you guys. We have to go back. So like, babe, like we was almost gone. She's like, I know, it's my dad. So they go back to find the dad, and in their attempts to get back up to the top, because remember they're at the bottom, they run into like this room that's just crazy. It's mad dark. They have only the fire flame holder thing that's like a lamp, but not. And all they see what looks like eyes in the dark, right? Just like blinking at them. They're like, what the? So when the light does come, they hold the fire lamp thingamabobby up. They see that they are eyes, but like hollowed out eyes of like ghost-looking thing. I don't know what these creatures are, but it's a whole lot of them. And they are scary, okay? Super creepy. So, of course, they screamed, and the people scream, or whatever those things are, they scream. And they're just like, what is happening right now? Totally out of my element. We got to help my dad. This is not good. Oh, and did I forget? Because, of course, I did. I'm all over the place. I try to stay focused, but you know my brain. She also tried, that's kind of what got them in the most trouble, because they were debating letting her go, and Derek was like, yeah, my sister would never do this. And then when they walk in, Bean is trying to get the bullet out of her dad with the knife, right? So it looks like they're trying to make sure he definitely dies. But in fact, she was trying to save her dad, and that's what ended up in this damn room. Sorry about that major element that I forgot. But it was important to mention because why the heck is her dad still like dying and not dead? Because she was able to almost get the bullet out, and that probably helped a lot. So in all this oohing and eyeing and yelling and screaming and not knowing what the hell these creatures is doing there, baby, who walks through that goddamn door? Well, not even the door. She like parts the ways of these crazy people and shows up. The mom, right? I was like, this chick will not die. She's died like 3 times already, right? But she keeps showing up, talking about what? No, hug, darling. Like, clearly she loves her daughter, but she got some misguided ways of showing her. And obviously she's there to like beseech her with some new knowledge about how she's gonna overtake the world. She got a lot of plans in her head for a woman that's dead. So I like the fact that she showed up because she's Ben's mom. But the fact that she showed up talking craziness, I mean, I kind of expected it, but I kind of wish it would have went a different way too. You know who I want to see? Una. I want Queen Una to show up and save the day and be like, oh, this was my plan all along. You didn't know? It's good, yes? Is. Don't you love when she does that? It's good, yes? Or is. I love her. She's so awesome. So yeah, let's cross our fingers real tight and hope that Una shows up and saves the day. Because clearly the mama got bad news. And we hope that Zog dies. These are all my future predictions for next season, obviously. Because it ain't happening this season. We are done. But it was really, really good. It kept me on my edge. It kept me on the edge of my seat. And the best part for me anyway was that it followed a succession. So one show had everything to do with the other. It kind of made it so that you had to watch and pay attention to understand the storyline. I love that it took us to some crazy land that we'd never seen before. Hopefully we'll visit there again. And now it's time for my special segment. My special segment is always one quote from one show. And you, as the viewer, please watch, participate, so that you can come on and talk about this show with me. It'll be pretty awesome. Yeah. So this week, I have a quote from the show, and I need you to tell me not only who the character is, but the scene altogether. Okay, you ready? Very short. Whoa! Lights without drugs. Pretty cool. Who am I? Do you know? Do you know what scene? Do you remember? Do you remember? I hope you remember. And I hope you enjoyed watching this AfterBuzz Netflix animated Disenchantment, baby. We're going to see you next season. You guys have an amazing, amazing day. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Kitty Kaboom. You can find me on IG at Kitty Kaboom. KITTIEKABOOM. Bye-bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.